You got to be frank, I'm really disappointed with it.
I feel good with where it's landing, largely.
We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. There is mixed reaction in Annapolis when it comes to a youth crime proposal. Coming up, the back and forth debate on changes to the state's juvenile justice system. The leading mayoral candidates will sit down for a special forum today. Coming up, why some are questioning the topic of the forum and if it is where attention should be focused. And we are keeping a close eye on the radar as we watch the next weather maker make its way over Maryland. Coming up, meteorologist Jasmine Lomax will time it all out for us. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We're taking a live look over Washington, D.C. The countdown to a possible government shutdown is on. If a deal isn't reached by midnight on Friday, the government will shut down. But there is hope that may be avoided after an Oval Office meeting between President Biden and congressional leaders.
Nobody wins from shutting down the government. It's just, I don't know how many times you have to be hit with a bat before you know it hurts.
It's important that we get an up and down vote on the bipartisan national security bill that has passed the Senate and also avoid a government shutdown at all costs.
This is the fourth time since September that government funding has come down to the wire. If no deal is reached, the shutdown begins at 12:01 Saturday morning. Happening today in Annapolis, Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski will testify before the House Judiciary Committee on gun safety legislation. Baltimore County's police chief will also testify in support of bills strengthening the state's gun laws. Now, when it comes to gun violence, lawmakers in Annapolis are debating Democrats' youth crime proposal. It calls for sweeping reform to the state's juvenile justice system. State Democrats hoped to tackle some of Maryland's youth crime issues during a juvenile justice hearing, but there's a growing divide in Annapolis. Shannon Lilly brings us a closer look at the debate surrounding the next steps forward. Shannon.
Well, the large juvenile crime bill from top Democrats is moving forward in both the House and Senate, and we do expect more discussion to be happening on the bill in the House today. Meanwhile, some amendments are being made to this bill, and that has some people frustrated. A total of 14 amendments are included in the House version of this bill, and some are small technical tweaks. Others, though, change what crimes kids between 10 and 13 can be charged with. So lawmakers approved the changes, but ultimately had to wait to cast a vote. That vote could happen as early as today.
You got to be frank, I'm really disappointed with it. I'd love to have more guardrails around juvenile offenders that offend multiple times, juvenile offenders that commit various crimes. I'm really bugged about the lack of accurate data.
Delegate Robin Grammer there is a member of the House committee helping craft the policy plans moving forward, and he says he still wants more data about juvenile crime. Right now, the Department of Juvenile Services says juvenile crime statewide is declining, but that's not what we continue to hear from prosecutors and communities who are dealing with the realities of the crime crisis at home. Now, Grammer says he tried to require data reporting from each jurisdiction in Maryland, but that effort failed. Meanwhile, the Senate's version of this bill is facing some tweaks as well. Now, it did move out of the Senate committee with those amendments yesterday, and now it's moving to the Senate floor. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on both versions of this bill as changes continue to be made. Reporting this morning, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Well, that brings us to our question of the day. If juvenile crime legislation fails to pass, will it change the way you vote in the upcoming election? So far, 97% of those who voted say yes. To make your voice heard, head to foxbaltimore.com/vote. Now, while addressing crime remains a central focus in Annapolis today, the top mayoral candidates are attending a forum to discuss another issue, the environment. As Olivia Dance shows us, the topic of the forum is causing frustration for some. Olivia.
Well, the forum is happening at 5:30 today at Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. And as you mentioned, the top mayoral candidates will discuss environmental issues. But this forum comes as quality of life crimes seem to be out of control.
Every day I come out to my car and I'm looking, worried that my window's going to be busted out.
I've had friends that have had their cars broken into, and I've heard from people that cops are barely pursuing it.
Residents are on edge as quality of life crimes run rampant, from car thefts to home break-ins and porch pirates. Residents are calling for change and action to be taken, but BPD is more than 500 officers short, making that a challenge. City State's Attorney Ivan Bates created the citation docket to address quality of life crimes, but very few citations have actually been written since it first launched. So we have pressed top mayoral candidates Sheila Dixon and Mayor Brandon Scott about the quality of life issues, and Dixon has been a victim of quality of life crime herself.
My son called me on the phone and said somebody broke through the door of the garage. He saw them leaving with the bike.
The police department needs to step up. They need to get trained properly, understand what it takes, and then get out there and start providing these citations.
We're going to continue to focus on that. We, as an administration here, as a police department in Baltimore City, have always been focused on quality of life crimes.
Again, as residents remain concerned about quality of life crimes, today's forum will instead focus on environmental issues. Of course, we'll be monitoring the event to see if Dixon or Scott address any of these crime concerns. But for now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
11:06 now. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number one, Attorney General Anthony Brown announces hundreds of charges against a gang. 6 suspects, including 2 juveniles, are now linked to at least 80 violent crimes across Baltimore City and Baltimore County. Officials say the crimes include murder, attempted murder, and carjacking. Trending number 2, one person is hurt in a shooting in Towson. Police say a man was shot multiple times along Lockland Circle Tuesday afternoon. The victim was taken to the hospital. Police haven't released his condition, but do say that he is stable. Trending number 3, Pavel Lapere's mother speaks to lawmakers as they hold hearings on bills named in her daughter's honor. The 26-year-old Baltimore Tech executive was brutally murdered in the city last year. The Pavel Lapere Act would keep violent sex offenders from early release for good behavior. There will be more debate over the bill before lawmakers make the final vote. Trending number 4, the Maryland Transit Administration is celebrating the launch of 7 new zero-emission buses. This is part of a pilot program with the goal of upgrading the entire fleet. Governor Wes Moore says this is a huge step toward a green future in Maryland. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Your next spring break destination could be closer than you realize. There's one beach in Maryland that travelers say is one of the best that America has to offer. It already costs a pretty penny to visit the happiest place on earth. The bump in prices visitors will see next year.
And we're keeping track of showers moving across the state and a few strikes of lightning. Coming up, I'll let you know when to expect heavy rain and gusty winds in my Weather Authority forecast.
11:10 now, and taking a look at your social stream. In a unanimous vote, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors issues a formal apology to Black residents for the city's role in decades of racism and discrimination. The resolution apologizes on behalf of San Francisco to the African American community and their descendants. It also commits to the, quote, rectification and redress of past policies and misdeeds of more than 100 proposals made by the city's African American Reparations Advisory Committee. This is the first and only to win approval. The apology. One person reacting to that saying, these people are ridiculous. Another saying, apologize with a check. Well, a massive wildfire continues to spread across the Texas Panhandle. Look at that. Officials say the rapid spread is being caused by dry and unseasonably warm weather. It's already burned more than 250,000 acres, forced evacuations, and has left thousands of people without power. The fires also forced a temporary shutdown at a nuclear weapons facility. Officials say that facility is open again today. Now, here's what you're saying about that. Just awful. One other saying, down in the Texas Panhandle, thousands are fleeing massive February fires. Terrible situation, though I can't help but ask, how many of them are climate change deniers? Well, you may pay more to visit Disney World next year. The theme park's booking site shows price hikes for some tickets. 2025 single-day tickets are $10 more expensive, with some of the cheapest coming in at $119. The prices of multi-day and park hopper options have also gone up, depending on the dates. Here's your reaction. One person saying how sad it used to be that most families could afford to bring their kids there at least once. No more. Another one saying by 2025, Universal will be the better destination. Well, a reminder, for the latest headlines in Baltimore and across the nation, you can now watch Fox 45 News for free anytime on Amazon Fire TV or Samsung TV Plus. Well, still ahead, is it helpful advice or a tone-deaf suggestion? Coming up, the tip one CEO is offering cash-strapped families that is being met with mixed reaction. And new tech is rolling out at 2 major airports coming up, where the pre-check system is expanding, allowing travelers to go past TSA without showing an ID or their ticket. 11:12 now on Fox 45 News Midday. At 11:14, we're back with a live look over Towson and actually the Inner Harbor there, as we are tracking the next weather maker. A little bit of the calm before the storm right now, as we could see some heavy rain this afternoon. Make sure you stay with us. Coming up in just about 5 minutes, meteorologist Jasmine Lomax will break down the timing of the system. Well, a big change at 2 of the nation's busiest airports. United Airlines is expanding its touchless ID technology at Chicago's O'Hare Airport, as well as LAX. That means TSA PreCheck members will no longer have to show their physical IDs or a boarding pass. They can simply scan their faces and drop off their bags to an agent. Delta Airlines has already implemented similar technology at its hubs in New York, Detroit, and Atlanta. Well, taking a look now at stories making national headlines. Top left today, Hunter Biden will appear for a closed-door deposition in D.C. It's part of the impeachment inquiry into his father, President Joe Biden. Top right, President Joe Biden and Donald Trump both easily won their party's primaries in Michigan. The state was the last major primary ahead of Super Tuesday. And then today, President Biden issuing an executive order protecting Americans' personal data. Finally, funerals will be held today in Minnesota for 3 first responders who were killed last week while responding to a domestic incident. Making headlines after previously fighting to keep workers from unionizing, Starbucks says it will begin talks with the Workers United Union to reach bargaining agreements. The hope is any deal will resolve a lawsuit between the two sides. Testimony continues today in the Rust shooting trial. Body camera video showed in court Tuesday shows 26-year-old Hannah Gutierrez-Reed telling cops that her career was, quote, over following the shooting. She was the armor on the movie set when cinematographer Elena Hutchins was killed after being hit by a live round that was fired from a prop gun that actor Alec Baldwin was holding. Now, Baldwin faces his own trial this summer. Earlier this month, a judge set a July 9th trial date. Baldwin has pleaded not guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Coming up tonight on Fox 45 News at 4, back and forth in Annapolis over amendments made to juvenile crime legislation. We'll have a live report from the State House with the latest. Then at 5, members of a criminal enterprise arrested for nearly 80 violent crimes now could be transferred back to a juvenile facility. We're pressing the Department of Juvenile Services for answers. And at 6, witness testimony continues in the trial of the man accused of murdering a Baltimore police officer. We'll have the latest details from court. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. 11:17 and time now for today's talking point. Kellogg's CEO is facing backlash after suggesting people should eat cereal for dinner as a way to save money at a time when food prices are rising. Many are now criticizing Gary Pilnick's comments, with some calling it tone deaf since he himself makes millions. Federal data shows cereal prices have increased 28% since January of 2020. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. So, Mark, what do you think about this? He's saying everything costs more, food is expensive. As an alternate, eat cereal.
Let me tell you something. Now, my grandfather he'd agree. Cheerios, cornflakes with banana was going to be dinner. I mean, is it tone deaf? I mean, he's selling product. I mean.
And so that's the problem. That's the part that they're saying is tone deaf. That you're saying we're cash strapped, and you realize that. So you're telling us to eat cereal, which in turn is the purpose is to make you more money.
Yes. Well, but it is capitalism.
Right.
And he is a business owner. But
And meanwhile, you also raise the price of your cereal.
It's going up now. That's not Grandpa's cornflakes you're buying.
Right, you're paying more, and then you get about this much in the bag. Like, the bag's here, but this is how much you're paying.
And who knows what's in cornflakes?
So that's a whole other story.
That's another story.
I think a lot of people do eat cereal for dinner just because it's quick and easy, and you're full, and you call it a day. I used to do that back in the day. I can remember. You can't do that when you have a family, because they're not going to go for.
Well,
my
mom, when I came through the door, when it's going to be one of those kind of nights, my mom would say that, "Hey, I'm not cooking dinner, so you're on your own."
You're on your own. I'm going to go home and try that today. See what happens.
There you go.
They would look at me. No, they would DoorDash, and then that's more pricey. So I need to go home and cook.
That's true.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Let's get back to the next big weather maker. We could see heavy rain, maybe even some thunderstorms this afternoon. Jasmine Lomax is here.
Priest. We are keeping watch on showers moving over the state. There's some moderate, even heavy rain over Baltimore, and you can see a few lightning strikes, some of them now closer to Cockeysville. So if you see lightning or hear thunder, don't be surprised. We're also looking at a wind advisory for almost the entire state. We could be talking wind gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour. Now, here's a larger look at what we're tracking. We have a cold front that's moving across the region, leading to some strong, even severe storms. There could be an isolated strong storm here, and that is why we are under a marginal risk threat level 1 of 5. Make sure that you are staying alert as we head into the afternoon and evening. Here's a look over Towson. It's very gray and rainy. This is what you can expect as we continue into the afternoon and into the evening as we get ready for that cold front. That's when we will have some of the strongest winds along with the heavy rain. Current temperatures, on the other hand, are pretty mild right now, 50s and 60s as we gear up for another warm day. Most of us seeing temperatures warmer than they were this time yesterday, but expect the opposite trend tomorrow as we get ready for a cool down following the cold front. Here's a look at the timing. Notice we're tracking heavy rain into the afternoon. This could lead to impacts on your evening commute with heavy rain possible. Then as we move forward and into the night, we start to dry out, but notice those gusty winds, 40 and even 50 mile per hour wind gusts possible. Then into tomorrow morning, we start with dry weather. We'll have a little more sunshine by the afternoon, and overall a quieter day, but breezy at times and cooler. On Friday, we stay nice and dry. Winds finally start to calm down, and we'll have a decent start to the weekend. However, after that, we will have the chance for rain. So our primary threat will be damaging wind gusts. 2 to 7 p.m. is the time frame that we're looking at for the heavy rain and gusty winds. 68 for the high temperature, then 47 tomorrow. We'll be in the 50s on Friday and Saturday, 60s on Sunday, and we stay mild into the first week of March. Back to you.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. Still ahead, the jackpot just keeps growing, and there's not one, but 2 big draws this week. Coming up, just how much is up for grabs. And we are getting a special sneak peek of the big season 11 premiere of The Masked Singer. Coming up, a look at the first costume to be revealed. And a big night of all-new TV at 8. It's a 2-hour episode of We Are Family. The final 6 singers perform show-stopping solos and duets with their hidden famous relatives. And then make sure you stick around for the day's top news and headlines. It's Fox 45 News at 10 and the late edition at 11. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25, The Masked Singer returns for season 11, 1 week from today, and we're getting a sneak peek. Check it out. The first costume of the new season being revealed. Meet Miss Cleopatra. She is joined by all new celebrity singers disguised under new costumes. You can watch the season 11 premiere 1 week from today, March 6th at 8 o'clock, right here on Fox 45. Macy's is closing 150 stores. 50 of them will be shut over the next year. Macy's says it is closing underperforming locations, but hasn't revealed which ones will close. Sony's PlayStation might be one of the most popular video gaming systems, but that hasn't shielded the company from laying off staff. The company is slashing about 900 jobs, or 8% of its staff. Several PlayStation studios will also close. And when it comes to new tech, Motorola is unveiling a new bendable phone that you can wrap around your wrist. The phone is in the concept phase, but the company says the screen is fully functional even while it is bent. Time now for your lunch break. Jackpots are the Mega Millions, and the Powerball continue to increase. Tonight's Powerball drawing an estimated $412 million. A lucky winner could take home the cash option of $195.5 million. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot worth $607 million, with the take-home cash option of $286.9 million. That is what I want for lunch today. Well, that is all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
That's right, Patrice. Well, spring break means surf, sand, and sun, and you could find it right down the road. The Maryland beach that breached the top 10 best that travelers could find. Coming up on Be More Lifestyle.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
What's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here along with executive Kevin Ogun Beasley and meteorologist Jasmine Lomax. Good morning, everybody. Let me tell you right now. Now, if you're looking for a last-minute spring break destination, you need not look far. Ocean City Beach is a top 10 beach in America, according to TripAdvisor's Traveler Choice Awards for 2024. It beat out Waikiki Beach in Hawaii. Wait a minute. And Florida's Clearwater and Panama City Beach. Travelers call Ocean City Beach a family-friendly beach with incredible views. I don't know about Waikiki. Hold up. Kevin, your thoughts?
So I have to say, I have experienced very good vibrations when I went to Ocean City. Right? But I went with people that I love.
Right.
Not
you know what?
you. We just met.
Okay, dang.
I'm just joking. But I'm just saying, when you go anywhere with people that you love, Ocean City is a nice place.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Okay,
Right.
you're right.
Come on.
You're right. I mean, the Waikiki threw me off the AT.
I agree with that.
Oh, okay.
But, what do you think? You enjoy Ocean City?
No, I prefer Rehoboth Beach. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well,
Ocean City, the waves are just a little too aggressive. The Ocean City waves fight like Taylor Swift's dad. It's like they throw punches. I mean, I almost drowned at the Ocean City Beach, and I just can't deal with it. So I have, it's a lot of personal trauma, I think. But maybe it is. The boardwalk is nice. Can we say that?
No, what Kevin
the boardwalk
said is
is nice. The outlets there are lit, but
that's true. That's true. The experience is a good experience.
But I almost died twice.
World traveler, just back from the world traveling. Jasmine, Ocean City.
She been back for 2 weeks, Mark.
Lady, you know I got a shtick.
Okay, sorry.
I mean,
world traveler.
It's okay. I do have to say though, I like the fried Oreos, the Polish water ice, good rides. So it's
yeah,
not
the Polish water ice
worst.
is
You know what?
good.
I think I was taking it. I think I was like a family member. I probably was taking it for granted because you're right, Kevin. You said it best. With the family, we've had great times at Ocean City.
And you had to pay. You had to pay for everything too. So
I had to pay.
You didn't like that.
You were probably mad.
That's right. Okay, it's
You be
okay.
right.
It's your chance to tell us. Now, I want you to tell it. How far are you traveling for spring break? Vote now on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. You can also vote on your Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. Now, social media influencers are pointing to light therapy as the future of skincare. Red light therapy has made rounds on social platforms for its supposed anti-aging benefits, and now blue light therapy is being touted as TikTokers for acne prevention. Dermatologists say these influencers may be on to something and that there is some evidence that blue light can kill a particular bacteria known to cause acne.
Okay.
Kevin, you're our first guest. What are your thoughts?
I was like, thank God, don't come to me.
In my adolescence, middle school, I had some acne issues.
Yes,
Okay,
And
okay.
I would always look for the cure.
Okay.
But it's clearly gone, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, and it also,
it's gone.
like,
It's not there
wash
no more.
your face a little
What's
bit
that?
more.
He said soap and water.
But
too. Okay.
I would say as far as this, I'll let you do it first. I'm that type of guy. Like, you do it.
Try it first.
Let me see what happens.
Well, Sean Paul said, just give me the light and
He didn't
But technology is great.
What do you think,
I
Jazz?
mean, I agree. You can try it first. Let me see what happens.
Put me on there.
Let me see
The old
what
man gotta
happens
try
in
first.
10 years. Are there any after effects long after?
You know that commercial
That's
that
what I
comes
wanna know.
later? Like,
Yeah.
if you ever...
Exactly.
Like
When there's a
everybody in the
lawsuit
service.
later, we'll be like,
Lady
oh,
T, your
Mark
thoughts?
tried it.
You gonna try the light?
I'm not going to try any kind of light. They say it's really bad for your skin, and that's why we have to wear SPF and stuff like that. I know. I learned from a lot of makeup artists. You know, they like, you got to wear the SPF so it protects your skin from the light. This can't be good for your skin.
Wow.
And I can't wait to see what happens after the fact with the lawsuits.
I can't wait.
Let me just say, we are not doctors.
When Mark's lawsuit comes out,
None of
and it's
us
on
are
air.
doctors on this stage. Now, the Supreme Court says it won't rule on whether hitting your car's horn is speech protected by the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. It comes after a California woman received a ticket for beeping her horn in support of a group outside her congressman's office. California, along with 40 other states, including Maryland, have laws limiting when drivers can use their horns. And now, first of all, do you use your horn when you beep? First of all, I don't say beep in my horn. You got to honk your horn.
Yeah. How many do you do? Like 2 taps? Or what do you do?
No, I don't have a good enough car. My car is like, man, it's like, no.
Oh, he said my car.
Kevin's got the latest Maybach, so his one's like,
Okay. I like that.
The latest.
Do you really have a Maybach?
I don't know where he was going.
I was like, keep touching me then.
You need to be careful.
he got the Maybach.
He got the Maybach. Come on.
But I would say just horn etiquette. You got to know where we live at. So I live in Baltimore City. So if you do Like you were asking
for
possibly
trouble.
for.
You were asking for somebody
The
to pop
horn
out,
is actually
pop out
saying
that
something,
car
But
on you.
I do think a courteous.
Like double tap.
A courteous
Did y'all see
tap.
that movie with the guy who chased the woman down and killed her whole
It was a
family?
very good
Did
movie.
you see that on
Oh,
Netflix?
wow.
He killed her whole family because she honked at him. He
In
said,
the morning.
he said you have to be courteous and you do the two honks is fine. But she went.
He told her to apologize.
And he took her whole family out except
Well,
her son.
thanks,
So
Lady
you got to
Tina.
be careful.
That's scary to
You got to
see
be
that.
careful.
Thank
So I only do a light
Courtesy,
honk.
courtesy,
Like a wake up.
courtesy
I'm
horn.
not a honker. I don't really hit the horn like that. Jasmine, you look like you might be a honker.
Yeah, I am.
I
yeah.
thought she was a honker.
I mean, if I'm in the lane and you
Not a
try to
beeper
cut me
honker.
off, I'm gonna do the long honk.
The long honk.
He said, Jasmine, you look like a honker.
Jasmine, 115 pounds of power out there beeping like, she's that person.
Yeah.
Don't cut me
There
off.
you go.
Yeah.
Don't cut me off.
As you should.
Well, coming up, okay, we're going to see you later in the show, and then, of course, Kevin and his maid box going to come
I'm gonna
later
go
in the
order
show.
lunch, but I'll
Ladies
see y'all
order
tomorrow.
lunch. Okay, looking forward to refreshing your home for spring. There's some hot new trends to check out ahead. How to add some curb appeal without breaking the bank. And there's a new way to charge your phone coming up, the simple solution to fighting dead batteries. Your battery's dead. Stick around. Be more live.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
And today, Gina Gannon from America's Steals and Deals has a trio of money-saving hacks that will simplify your life. Here's Gina to share what she's discovered.
The following segment is sponsored by Noki.
So we all live busy lives, and if you're like me, your phone is attached to you 24/7. I have 3 great products for you that are going to help to extend your battery life, keep your phone charged, keep it clean, and protect it. This is Rush Charge. This is a way to still be on the go while your phone is charging. It's so great to not have to miss out on any of those life's moments. As soon as your kid goes up to bat and you want to take that video, you can now. This is always making sure that you have a nice phone charged up to 26 hours. And this is for all devices as well. It's really fantastic. Then we have Pristine Screen. This is a way to clean your screen so easily because the microfiber is all around it. It's such a cool idea. I had no idea how dirty my PC was, my car navigation screen, even my sunglasses I use this for. So it's amazing that you have everything in one here. Then let's talk about Foozy. So Foozy is a thermal capsule that is protecting your phone. Now what that's doing is it's protecting your phone from extreme heat and extreme cold. So it's protecting it with this NASA spacesuit technology. It's such a cool idea. It's gonna help with antimicrobial. It also has military grade drop protection and flotation so that you don't have to worry if you drop your phone like I do. This is your protection. You're gonna have this size if you want a crossbody or a bigger one for your devices. You can pick this up today for up to 50% off. Go to asadeals.com.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Shimunek Funeral Homes.
Funeral services have evolved, especially in the last 80 years, and they continue to evolve. Here to talk about the dynamic field is John Evans, General Manager of Shimunek Funeral Home. John, how are you?
I'm doing well, and thank you for having me.
Definitely. Can you tell us about Shiminick?
Shiminick Funeral Home has been proudly serving families in Maryland for more than 80 years, and we strive to make a difference in lives with comforting and caring hearts and providing direction at a time when it's truly needed.
And so, John, as somebody who's dedicated your life to this profession, what are some of the biggest changes you've seen?
Probably the biggest change is in the service itself. Many families today don't want the traditional service. They want something more customized, personal, and that's what we do. We help to create a personalized service to help tell their life story and really create an uplifting service.
And you know, Dan, I've been through this process, and so you've been in the funeral and cremation business for many years. What made you join Shiminick?
I find our services are unparalleled. We have a very dedicated, caring staff that, as I say, they really look to structure a service that's individualized for each person, and I'm really blessed to be on a team like that.
I've discovered many people aren't comfortable discussing their final arrangements. They don't even want to talk about it. Can you give us some tips of, you know, for designing the final farewell that best pays tribute to the life? Because it is important. It's really difficult to think about sometimes.
Absolutely, and it starts by having the conversation. You know, we've all talked with family and friends to say, well, when I go, I want a big party, or I don't want people looking at me. But it's more, you have to put those thoughts into a plan and let people know and get something concrete so that they know how to carry it out.
And so, John, how do you go about pre-planning? How does that process start?
Well, the best way is to reach out to our funeral home, speak to one of our funeral directors who's trained and seasoned in working with people in advance, and they'll take you down the steps of the information that we need to gather, but more importantly, getting your wishes known. They'll get to know you and help you create a service that's unique for you.
And you know, again, it's not, you don't like to think about it, but having it all laid out, it makes it so much easier for everybody involved. And so if somebody's watching right now and they want to start the process, where should they go?
Well, call Shiminick Funeral Home. You can call us at our Perry Hall office at 410-256-3600, or in Bel Air, 410-638-5360, or reach out to us on our website at www.shiminickfuneralhomes.com. From there, you can download a planning guide, or you can start the process of getting your thoughts together, and then when you bring that to us, we help you put that into a plan.
Well, John, thanks for joining us. This powerful information is so valuable. Thanks much.
Thank you.
So ahead, when the temperature drops, it can spell disaster for your home's water pipes. Coming up, the new tech that can help detect a burst pipe and shut your water off for you. But first, the Baltimore nonprofit music program gets a record deal. We'll tell you about it coming up.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
National award-winning Baltimore nonprofit music education program Beats Not Bullets continues to transcend barriers with a behind-the-fence facet of the program that unlifts inmates both during incarceration and after their release. We're joined by program co-founder and director Kevin Ogun Beasley. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you so much.
So proud of you, man. Tell us about the program.
So the program was a brainchild of Damon Blue. I don't know if you remember Damon Blue, but that's my young brother. And that was years ago. So we launched the program in 2016, and this June will be 8 years of programming. So we do songwriting, engineering, and music production. And for the last year or so, we've been doing workforce development, and we've been in the prison system since 2022 of November. So everything is just taking a very good turn.
It's great, man. So I guess we've known each other probably around 20 years now. And so I've known Ogun the rapper, and now Ogun the executive. You guys have some good news as far as the actually industry concerned, right?
We do. So especially when we went into the prisons, but me and my team, we've been working on just trying to find a bigger platform. So we would kind of just figuring out anything that we could do, right? But we've been nurturing a relationship with Empire. And they like the idea. So when inmates come home now, they'll have a viable thing to do with their music. So they have a new platform when it comes to that machine, as well as students in our program, and they also open it up to the city. So what we're gonna start doing as of maybe late or early April, we're gonna do the first ever citywide, bring everybody together, released through Empire's machine, Baltimore, hip hop, music in general.
You had that first cohort. I've just seen that word around. I had a first chance to use it.
True.
You know, so as an artist, Ogun, you actually represented the streets, but you were always a deep thinker, always a deep rapper. How do you balance that between, I know some kids, some people just want to do what they want to do. How do you influence it in a certain way, but at the same time let them be themselves as artists? Or is that just a conversation?
That's a long story, but everybody is different, right? But I will say it really comes down to their parents being involved, seeing their transition. It's about them being honest. Like certain youth in particular, they'll say, you know what, when I was about to, I just heard your voice. But they're not saying it in a negative way, right? Yeah. They heard a balanced voice, like, chill out, bro, right? So it's just being able to become that voice when it comes to my influence in the city, my influence as far as people around me. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
And you know, man, as we wrap things up, man, what is it about Baltimore? I mean, Baltimore has so much talent. But what's an unspoken thing or a thing that people don't understand about Baltimore that needs to be understood about Baltimore?
I think that Baltimore needs to stand together. I think it takes a lot for us to stand together and accept help and understand when we need help. But I think that Baltimore also is on its way to be like that definition of the comeback story. So I think everybody is doing the good work as far as spreading the message and creating narratives that are different from every time you're out of town, the wire.
Yeah.
Like our story is bigger than that. So I think it's just really about all the people that's doing the work in the city to make Baltimore a better place.
And how can our viewers find out more about the program and follow?
So please follow Beats Not Bullets immediately. And then we have two artists in particular. His name is 10. He just came home. And we have another artist from the program, WB Mikey. And you can log on today at realonpurposeentertainment.com to preview their project. That's not through Empire, but the Empire everything will start in April.
Proud of you. Continue good success,
Thank you so
my
much
friend.
for this opportunity.
All right, now we're expecting some wet and windy weather this afternoon and evening. Here's meteorologist Jasmine Lomax with a look ahead to our next weather maker. What's up, Jasmine?
Thanks, Mark. We have been dealing with a gloomy day so far, and we're seeing some showers and a few lightning strikes over the Baltimore area right now. Notice we're seeing some of those yellows indicating moderate and even heavy rain across some parts of the state. The tan is for a wind advisory, and that is for almost all of us. We're talking wind gusts that could exceed 50 miles per hour later this evening and into the night. This is all associated with our next weather maker, this cold front. This system has been leading to a few severe storms, and for us, there is the chance for an isolated strong storm. We're under a marginal risk under this dark green area. That is threat level 1 of 5. So you really want to make sure that you are staying alert and driving safely throughout the day, especially as we prepare for some heavy rain and gusty winds. 62 for the current temperature. Very rainy and gloomy over Towson. Winds are out of the south-southwest around 9 miles per hour, but wind gusts are even higher. We're seeing the teens and the 20s, but again, those numbers later on could exceed the 50s. Meanwhile, temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. It's been mild and warmer than average, but once the cold front passes, we are going to be back to cool winter-like temperatures for the end of the month. Notice on the future scan we're tracking a line of rain and possible storms as we continue into the afternoon. Then once we head into the evening, there is the chance for a couple spots of heavy rain that could impact your commute. Make sure to add some extra time. We're also looking at those increased wind gusts later into the afternoon and evening and night. So make sure that you are staying alert. Once we head into the night and into tomorrow, we start to dry out. Still, it is going to be breezy at times. 68 today, then 47 tomorrow. We're back to the 50s on Friday and Saturday. Then next week, as we head into the first week of March, we're looking at the 50s and 60s. Back to you.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Clopay, Moen, DAP, and Tandostome.
Let's talk about the hottest home trends with two of the best in the business, Catherine Emery and Chip Wade. They've been telling stories for decades and join us now with finds from Design and Construction Week in Las Vegas.
We are so happy to be back with you. Chip, another day, another trade show, my friend.
I know you love this. We are at Design and Construction Week. Catherine and I have scoured the floor and found our favorite products. And we're going to start with little curb appeal and garage doors from Clopay. Clopay makes more doors than anybody else. Look at this, the chevron pattern, so beautiful. Clopay does a great job of taking some of those interior design trends and bringing it to the outside of the house to complete that whole picture. Now, this is made of composite, which you can stain, you can paint, and the slightly more cost-effective printed steel also performs way better than wood. Of course, all of these are insulated, great looks. You can find out more at Clopay.
I'm going there for sure, right? So, all right, let's talk about water damage.
Oh, okay. So this is actually one of the biggest insurance claims out there, but this little device right here is supposed to solve it for us.
This is the bodyguard for your pipes, and everybody needs one, right? So this is Moen's Flow Smart Water Monitor and Shut Off. Chip, here's how it works. You put it on your main water supply. It is now going to regulate and monitor that water pressure. If it detects up to a drop per minute off, it's going to send you an alert to your phone via the Moen app. It's going to shut off that water supply. The nice thing is too, it can sense the temperature. So if freezing temperatures are coming, it's going to flush those pipes, preventing that burst from happening.
Well, this is called 2-in-1 wall and ceiling spray texture. I do a lot of new construction, a lot of remodel, constantly using spray texture, but historically spraying overhead is really messy and doesn't have great results. This new patented 60-degree adjustable nozzle right here allows you to spray overhead as easy as straight ahead.
Wow, cool. It seems like you're going to get it done quicker, less neck ache, and also, I mean, look at this 60-degree application. We got
that also has wall and cavity spray foam. Now, why this is cool, this is for spraying big areas. It's got a big wide nozzle. But what you might notice here, this is just a single part instead of the previous two-part. This is polyurethane, and it has all of the functionality of that two-part mix, but smart. A lot easier. Also, Class A fire rated.
So smart.
Can't go wrong.
I really love the look of mixed material, but stone is really hard to install.
You got that right. I mean, it's heavy. There's a lot of breakage. Finding a stonemason, it's just complicated. But Tando Composites has kind of got it figured out for us. This is Tando Stone and the new All Pro corner. What's great about this is look how lightweight it is. Really nice, which means you don't need all that big heavy scaffolding. You just go right up a ladder and even install this by yourself. Really great. Now, what's also awesome about this is moisture doesn't affect it, and it can have direct ground contact, which just makes the whole user experience really nice and easy. We've got all this up for you at BeTheBestHome.com. We'll see you at the next show. See ya.
We can feel the sand between our toes already. We're one Maryland beach ranked on a list of the best in the United States. It might surprise you.